What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have a triple threat with the DCT Lexus LFA. Now, this is the first time I've ever added the DCT brand to my collection, and now these ones might be getting close to a year old, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at them and see if they are worth adding to your collection, because they are still pretty widely available. So getting things started with our casting. We will take a quick look at our proportions here, and we can see that it looks pretty good. Nothing really to complain about in the proportions department. What I can say, we'll have to go ahead and pop the real life car up in the top right hand corner though. This is also a true 1/64 scale, so you're not going to have to deal with anything that is like oversized like you would from the Matchbox and the Tomica LFAs, at least the Tomica Premium Nürburgring Edition. What you get here, though, is a mostly metal die-cast body. Everything you see painted in yellow is metal. And then these kind of parts back here, these are actually not inserts. They're just kind of casted in there as well and then painted over. There is some, like, depth to them, though. It's not like a one base flat kind of dealio. Down here, again, this is all just die-cast metal. Same with these things on the back. These kind of large vents are a piece of the main body just casted in. Exhaust is a part of the base, and the base is plastic, so that is definitely something to make a note of. And then our mirrors are also a little plastic insert kind of deal thing. Interior looking good in there. It is highly detailed in there. Again, these vents up here on the front, these ones have depth to them, but I'm pretty sure they are just kind of casted into the main body. And then this lip, you can feel that it's there, but it is mostly a tampo right there. For our paint and details, so there are 6 colors that initially released. These are the 3 that I picked up, and then I believe 3 more have released since then. There's an orange, a couple versions of silver. There's various different colors out there. There's like 8 or 9 different colors. These are the 3 that I've picked up. I might get the orange one at some point, but the metallic blue here looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, look at the shine on that paint. This one looks amazing. I really like the red one as well. It's a nice high gloss paint on that. And then, of course, the iconic LFA yellow. In my opinion, the best color the LFA was ever done in. I really, really like these ones. These are the 3 that I chose. These are the 3 I feel are the best. But I'll go ahead and throw a picture in of at least some of the other colors that are optional. So moving into our details, this is where we have a lot to really talk about here. So up front, we do have plastic inserts for the headlights, which look really, really good. We do have a Lexus logo tampoed on very, very nicely. We do have this little vent, and this little vent all kind of painted over. Like I said, they're not really a plastic insert or anything that sits behind the main body. They are just the main die-cast mold that has kind of just been painted over. If you look very closely, you probably can't see it. There is some slight meshing to the detail here, but that big, thick, black matte paint that they've put kind of does hide the meshing, which is not ideal, but it's okay. We do get a little reflector here on the side, and then we talked about this being a tampo. Up front here, these again just kind of painted over. There is some meshing behind them, but it is very tough to see because of that matte black paint that they used. Down the sides here, we do get the F right there, the F Sport. You get a little door handle tampo right there. You get a little tampo for this intake here. There's a little tampo for this window piece here, which Matchbox didn't include, which a lot of people hated on. This little intake thing down here does have a little tampo there. Our wheels are accurate to the real-life car, and they look really, really nice. I love the wheels on this model, actually. It's one of my favorite parts. As we make our way to the back, you will see we do get taillight inserts, again, plastic, and they even have some little tampo work on them, which looks pretty cool. Lexus logo, some tampo work on top of it. We do get a license plate, a little LFA badge here. On the base piece, we've got some little extra reflectors and the exhaust tampoed on right there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, these 2 big black sections, which I do wish you could see the detailing on them a little bit better. But there is just kind of a flat matte black painted over top of that. Moving into our roll test, DCT is a brand new brand to my collection and probably quite a few of you guys as well. So let's make sure that they roll. They do roll very nicely. I will say this red one rolls the best of the three that I have, but they all three roll pretty smoothly. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it came out to be a 29.9 grams. So it is a little bit on the light side of things. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The biggest pro for this one, for me, is going to be the $10 price tag. I have seen these things going for as low as $6 with free shipping. I have seen them going for as high as $15 with free shipping. I think I paid $11 for free shipping with mine. But the $10-ish price point, give or take, a little bit is about what you're going to be able to pay for that. And I would definitely say don't pay too much more than 10 because there are brands that have done this car a little bit better if you're willing to pay like a $20 price tag. That being said though, this looks absolutely fantastic for that $10 price point, especially if you can get it on the lower end of that towards the $6 to $8 range. Moving into our cons, there are two that I really want to hit upon here. The first is that this is a very fragile model. Okay, the body itself, not so much. The mirrors, that is what is fragile on this. My red one, I have had to fix the mirrors on it several times because the mirrors have fallen off. The first time they ever fell off, it was because I dropped the model. I dropped it from only about 6 inches off the ground though, and it dropped it onto carpet, like nice shag carpet that should not have really been too much of an impact, but both mirrors did fall off, and I have glued them back on. But just be very careful with it because those mirrors are fragile. The other con that I'm going to put on this one is the muted details. So, especially back here, you can see that there is some meshing casted in, but it's just not great. And I think a lot of it was kind of covered up by that thick matte paint that they put on it. Just not ideal in my opinion. Could have been better. So the muted details, meh, not for me. Moving into some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other 1/64 scale Lexus you might own, with the LC500 from Aerocar and the RCF GT3 from Hot Wheels. And here we have it with some other 1/64 scale cars, with the Toyota GR Supra Pandem kit from Hot Wheels mainline and the Lamborghini Huracan STO from Mini GT. Wrapping this video up now, let's give it our overall final scores. The hype level, I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. I think those of us that knew that this was coming were very excited for it because it was finally a good chance to get a high quality LFA into our collections without spending $100 bajillion to get the Tomica Limited version. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.1 out of 10. I just think that it's really good, but it could have been a little bit better. There's a few missed marks that we talked about, but overall still very, very nice. Community input, I gave this one to the Council of Diecast, and here is what they had to say. Most of them very positive, so that's always good to see. Ranking their scores and averaging them out, we're going to come up with about an 8.7 out of 10. And when we average those three categories together, we are going to hit a 9 out of 10 average, which I think is an absolutely perfect fitting score for this model. I think it's a great score for a great little model. DCT is a bit of a budget premium brand. They're not going to be as nice as like a Mini GT or a Tarmac Works or even like a Sparky, but you're also not really paying as much either. Like I said, this one could have been found for $6 at one point. So it's definitely possible that you could find it for $6. So, you know, I would put it a little bit on par with poster cars perhaps being a little bit nicer. With that price point though, you're not going to get quite as level of detail. I understand. I think for $10 though, there is still a little bit of room to be had. There's some improvements that could be made for sure. All that being said though, I do still highly recommend that you pick this one up. All 8 colors, as far as I know, are still pretty easily available. Some of them do seem to be going up in price though, so I would act quickly if you really want one. One thing I should mention though is that CM model just came out with their LFA and it's about $20. So it's about twice the price of this one, but it's still not crazy highly expensive. So I would say that this is the best cheap way to get an LFA into your collection, no doubt. But if you want to spend a little bit more and you don't mind spending a little bit more, the CM model might be more up your alley. And with that, that will wrap up this review, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and tell me what your thoughts are on this particular model down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.